Hi guys, this is Helen Wild. I am trying to make a platform that people can use to get some tips on how to live healthier and hopefully happier.
Hi everybody! I'm all about working out in a safe manner. I already have a couple of injuries in my body and I don't want to make it worse. Okay, so the thing is, if you do yoga or ballet or CrossFit or just running or whatever, if you don't use the correct alignments and the correct way of exercising, you will get injured. We definitely want to avoid that. So I make a big deal about doing things correctly, and yeah. So in this video I will show you how you should have your knees and your wrists and what kind of muscles you should use. One big part of my workout philosophy and my yoga practice is core muscles. So please continue watching and I hope this is very helpful for you.
So we're going to start talking about the core. So people tend to have two tendencies in posture. It's this one that I call Donald Duck posture, which is something that I have a tendency to do, and it's this one that I usually call no butt syndrome. And to fix that, we would need to use our core muscles that we, especially in the West, have very poorly developed because of sitting on chairs and driving a lot. So what I do is that I suck my belly in. I try to suck my belly button into my spine, and then I try to get my ribs right over my pelvic floor, my pelvis, and then my shoulder right over the ribs. Like, these usually follows one another, like the rib cage and the shoulders usually follow the placement of the pelvic floor, so you really just need to adjust your pelvis. And here I am doing a geeky dance because I am going to get a yoga block and I'm a dork. So for this, I'm using a yoga block, but you could also use a book or a rolled up towel. I try to stand with my feet hip distance apart, which is usually a lot more narrow than you would think, especially as women. We think we're super wide because we have wide hips, but that's not true. So the point of this block is that when you squeeze into it, it naturally automatically connects to those inner core muscles and lower abdomen muscles. So what I do, I push it back in my Donald Duck syndrome, and then I squeeze my stomach in and I push my navel towards my spine. And then I have to squeeze my lower ribs in so that my rib cage is right above my pelvis. Well, you could also practice these healthy core muscles by using the same muscles as when you go to the toilet. So it's like peeing and then stopping the flow, so to speak. These are the muscles you should use throughout your workouts, and especially throughout yoga, your yoga practice. As you can see here from the side, I'm trying to show you what it looks like. So I'm sucking my belly button into my spine, and as you see, my rib cage is sticking out, so I have to kind of breathe in and then push them right over so that they are to align with my pelvic floor and the rest of my spine. So moving along to the placement of my knees in my very geeky way here, I'm showing you that you shouldn't be with your knees far behind or in front of your hips. They should be right underneath your pelvis and right underneath your hip bones, and preferably hip distance apart. And I'm showing you here too, shaking my head, Jesus, that also here I'm sucking my belly button in, and I'm using those perineum muscles, those Kegel muscles, to stabilize. This is a very common pose in yoga. And as you see, I'm talking about my stomach again because it's so important. I can't stress it enough. And then showing that my knees should be right over my ankles, not in front of the toes and not too far back, but right aligned over the ankle. Showing you from the front, also here, they should be about hip distance apart. Usually go a little bit more narrow than you would like to. And here I'm showing you the placement of my arms, which should be right underneath the shoulders. And I'm externally rotating my biceps and my elbows. I am showing you a quick way to see if you're shoulder distance apart with your hands, because your wrist should be right underneath your elbows and your elbows right underneath your shoulders. If you hyperextend your joints, such as I'm showing you here, because I have that naturally, you should carry just a small micro bend in your joints, because otherwise you're gonna get that weight unevenly spread, and you might hurt your elbows, your elbow joints, and your wrists for that matter. And now moving along to the hands, and in yoga we talk about the 4 wheels. I'm showing you here 1, 2, 3, and the 4th wheel. And every time you have your hands in the ground, they should be all grounded at all times. The same goes for your feet. You've got 4 wheels, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and maybe just the 5th one.
I hope this video is helpful for you. Please, if there's anything I can explain better or do better, leave comments below, and also subscribe. Go out there in the world and be safe and be kind, and see you next time, hopefully.